Duatero, yeah.
Yeah. So how was it? How was that guy? Was he good?
His name rhymes with his name rhymes with Washua. I know,
Yeah,
yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
No, that was awesome. That was fantastic. I think it was like it was I think it was a I think it was a learning experience for all of us.
Yes, it
But
was. Still is.
I know, right? Like, oh, this is so. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I'm really happy that you were. I'm really happy that you were interested in kind of giving it a shot, and have been really game to kind of go up the learning curve as well. Along with, like, I think your learning curve was steeper than mine. My
Well,
learning curve.
so 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 actually, the biggest challenge was yours.
Yeah.
Like, surprisingly,
Oh,
was not the Mandarin. The Mandarin was actually easy. Thank God for Dynasty Warriors video games. Otherwise, I would have been so screwed. Because
yeah,
I knew how to pronounce. I don't think I screwed up with any of the Mandarin when I actually did that. Right?
yeah.
The Esperanto man was the J's screwed me up so
Yeah.
hard.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, it screwed me up so hard because there was like there was a couple. I guessed on a couple of them with you because it was like, I hope he's happy with it, and
Yeah.
you are. So it's like, yes, I did it. I
No,
did
it's
it.
all good. I always find that funny. Like
Yeah,
whenever I'm talking to somebody who's read the book, and
yeah,
they'll be like talking about a character, and I'm like, that's not how I pronounce the character's name in my head. But when I look at the name, I'm like, yeah, that's a legitimate pronunciation. It's funny, eh?
yeah. Because like so yeah, like I still Talia was my favorite on The Voice. By the way, she was so fun. That she was so fun.
She was a bucket of fun to write as well.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil. I'm not going to spoil it too much, but in my opinion, she was the heart of the book. Like, that's just my opinion
Yeah,
on
yeah,
it. And yeah,
yeah.
this is the only thing I'm going to say to you is just after I've read the book,
I
and without
agree.
spoiling it too much,
Yeah.
she deserved
She
better than
was
that.
like she's not the main character of the book, but she's like, I kind of think of her like you say she's the heart of the book. Like I kind of like when I was like I think like she is the heart of the main character, right? Like
Yeah, she's his
she's
conscience. Like, honestly,
yeah,
she's his
she's his
conscience.
conscience. She's his like moral center, his like emotional center. Like that's like she's the heart of the book. She's the heart of the main character whose POV we see the story through, right? Like she is, and she was like it's like the main character is this like dour kind of guy, and is like so you get in that headspace for a while, and it's like okay, Talia's just where
I my
let off have some fun.
my I can't even talk about my favorite scene on the air because it spoils the book too much.
You have
But
to tell me after.
yeah, no, it was. I'll tell you after when it's over.
Yeah,
But it was. I really enjoyed it because it captured their relationship so perfectly, and
yeah.
it was like, oh my god, that was perfect, and then you broke my heart, you bastard. But that's okay. That was good. That was good.
Man, that's
No,
what a good writer does, right?
yeah, no. You wrote a great book.
Yeah,
I actually
thank you.
to be honest, to be very honest with you, I learned an awful lot. Like, I would not do that book. Like, I'm just being very honest with you. I would not do that book for that rate ever again because of just everything that was required. But I'm glad I went through that experience. It
Yeah,
actually made me a better podcaster. And I
yeah,
still I don't love audiobooks, but the fact that I know that I can do
yeah,
one,
yeah,
right, and do a good one is
yeah.
actually. Oh, do you want to know the other thing that was really hard? They actually
Mm.
really hard about your book. Okay, so we got
What
this
was
one
it?
little problem. We got this one little problem. I'll take care of like this week.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah,
but here's it actually was the opposite. Like, so for those people wondering, Audible requires a certain degree of silence in certain parts. I thought
yeah,
I captured it. It for whatever reason it didn't. It's an easy fix, not a big deal. There were parts though. My room was too set. Dead space was a huge problem with the book.
really,
And
yeah,
I had to learn how to deal with that.
yeah,
Right, because yeah, so the other two things I learned. The closet is a beautiful place to actually voice the book. It's a great spot. because
all the clothes.
yeah. No, it's mostly enclosed. You don't. So the dead space problem. So I went. So basically, I did it a page at a time in the room I sleep in because it's a relatively quiet spot in the house.
Yeah.
A little too quiet as it turned out because I had to do some fixes on it. So when I did some of the scenes again, I actually went into the closet. The beautiful thing about a closet, it has a built-in. It's almost like a built-in echo chamber, right? Because you have sound coming in and out, just enough that it's not dead space, but it's still, like as you say, it's nearly insulated enough, right? So it was just like I learned an awful lot about sound doing your book. Yeah. So
and I kind of figure, it's like, the first one's always the hardest, but now you know all this. Like the next ones will be
it'll be better and more expensive for everybody else too.
Exactly. It's like now I know what the work effort actually is. That's always the thing. You like the first thing.
And I knew too that when I was doing your book that I was going to make mistakes with your book, and I did. I made some big ones, right? Ones that were completely my fault. It was just like, okay, that's not how you do that, right? But I mean that's the thing. Like you can't be afraid to go out there and try new things.
Oh, yeah. That's why when you were like, hey, this is what I'm thinking to do, and I was like, that's awesome. Like I've never published a book as an audiobook either. So I was like, I think it was a bigger challenge or bigger risk, bigger thing. I know. Like you gotta try new things. You gotta try new things. And then people gotta give you a chance to try new things, right? Like that's
like that was like I greatly appreciate it. Like I actually I might have to send you a little present as a thank you actually now that I think about it. No, I mean because like so there's been a group of you guys that have been very supportive. I'm gonna mention you, Jennifer Ron, Susie Vidori. This last year have been really supportive and just me trying just different stuff. So I just honestly, man, thank you, man, for everything you've done.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.